Hi everyone, going to do a little tutorial here on if you want to sing out. This is a rhythm tutorial. Now the thing about this is this song has a couple of different rhythms that are being played in it, and they're very important. We noticed in rehearsal that the whole chorus just really popped open when we started using that upbeat strum that's going to come in to play. And when we use that in the verse, it's the same thing. It just really makes everything pull together, and it really completes the song. Now, there's a couple of challenges for the baritone that the ukuleles don't have. So we're going to go through that with some ideas and things that you can do. Again, we're in a group setting here, so there's some options that we can use that will definitely work out for us. So let's get started by taking a look at the first chords for the intro. Now the thing about the intro is that the intro is going to set up both of these little feels together, so you kind of get a chance to kind of play through the feels before you ever have to start singing or anything like that. So we have a C chord. Now a lot of you are going to want to play the G like this, but I'm going to say why not go on and play this closed position G right here, or movable shape, because then the next chord's an F, all right? We play the F all the time. The baritone, you guys are used to playing it like this. I would get used to using the G here, because in the chorus that's going to become very, very important. But there's a couple of options. So right off the bat, let's take a look at what's happening with this G. The G is going to be played a couple different ways if you wish in the song, okay? You can play it open in the intro. Okay, you got to go to that F anyway, so I'm suggesting using this, but it doesn't sound bad. Now I'm going to close it up. So there's played both ways. It can be done either way if you wish. Now, the thing about this F where we do the upbeats, let's talk about that, because there's a little chucking sound. Now, it's kind of interesting because we play 2 beats on the C, 2 beats on the G, then we're going to play 4 beats on the F. They're almost exactly the reverse of what we've just done. We've done 2 downs, 2 downs, and now we're going to do 4 ups with a little chucking sound in between. So they're almost like the reverse of each other. C, G, F. Now the cool thing about the F is that this is a movable shape, and it's very easy to do a chucking sound because you just relax the pressure on the chord and it'll shut itself down. Stops immediately, and you can do a chuck. Now if you're not used to doing the chucking at all, good way to practice that, just use your downbeats and then chuck. So I'm pressing the F, and now I'm relaxing, pressing the F. So you can see how that is. Very light pressure. All you're doing is trying to stop the strings, okay? So let's take a look as we walk through the verse. We first do the C to the G, then we have our F on the upbeats. Now it gets a little interesting. We have our C, G to an A minor. And on the baritone, this A minor can be a little funny to play when you're talking about trying to do a chucking sound. If you play your standard A minor, it's very difficult to chuck that because you've got to touch it so lightly. If you can develop the touch to get a good chucking sound after you've played your upbeats, the slightest bit of pressure is going to bring out your pinky's probably going to drop and hit that first string, or even on your regular A minor when you go to drop down. It's very difficult to do a chuck with this A form. Now you can use a movable shape up here at the 5th fret. Some of you may have already played an A minor up here. Very common to play it there. Then you would get this. You'd get your C, G to the F, then a C to the G to the A minor. Very easy to chuck up there. Now, if it's really hard for you to play up here at the 5th fret, you can actually skip the chucking sound because we're in a group setting. There's going to be a lot of people doing it. And really, you can just relax the pressure on the A minor. Just relax it to shut the chord down. And you're just doing the upbeats. Bum, 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 and you're not doing the chucking sound at all. And that would sound like this. C, G, F, C, G, A minor. Now you do want to stop it. You don't want to have it ringing over while people are playing. So you've got some options on the A minor. You can just relax and let it shut down and forget the chucking. You can try to develop the chucking sound on this position here and just get to where you can play it and you're very sensitive. Or you can do on the 5th fret, you can do the bar. To get the chucking sound in. Now through the rest of the verse, there's some interesting things that go on again for the baritone ukulele. When we do the section that says, because there's a million things to be, we have a D minor, open position, million, back to our A minor, things to. Now on this G here, you can play an open position G if you want. It actually sounds kind of nice in that format. Million things to be, to your C, you know that there are, because now you've got that open position to get your suspension. So you kind of can mark your music or give yourself some hints there. That's a perfect place to go on and use that open G. You know that there are. No problem at all playing that, okay? Now, there's another way to do a chucking sound on the G, and we're going to get into that as we touch on the chorus. So how does the chorus take place? We come off that section where it goes a million. Now notice these are kind of that 2-4 feel. 2 on the D minor, 2 on the A minor, 2 on the G, 2 on the C. We're just playing downbeats is all we're doing. Then when we get to that last G, and that's when we actually do a regular strum on that G. And again, you can play the G this way if you want, or you can play it as an open. Then we have our little run. And we catch that upbeat into the chorus, all right? Now, let's take a look again. We're going to be playing all these chords until we get to the C and the A minor, where we have that little, sounds like a time shift. All these are played in the upbeat position. So now we have to figure out a way to do chucking on all these chords. The C is not a problem. It's very easy to flatten that out. If you can't do the chucking sound, or you just can't get that to work right, you can do the same thing we talked about on the A minor when we get to this section. Just play C, and then just close it down just to shut it off. Now when you get to the F, and again, you could play that. You can palm mute it to shut it down, whatever you want. Now we have our G. You can play the G here. Now, interestingly enough, if you want to play that open position G, usually you're probably playing it with your ring finger. You could play that with your index finger, and look at this. Your fingers are right there to mute that. But you have to make a note of that. When I'm in the chorus, I'm going to play that open G with my index finger because I need to be able to do a chucking sound. So you're going to have your C, F, now here's that G, back to C, all upbeats, F, now here's that G, open position, and back to C. So see, you can play the G in an open position there if you want, and it will work fine. If you can close it, that works out fine too. You get your C, F, G, So you have some options throughout this song to be able to play it. The G can sometimes be played in the open position, especially up in the verse when you want to do the suspension. You will use your ring finger to get that suspension. At the same time, down in the chorus, you can close it up if you wish to do a movable shape, or if you're going to use the open, you just got to remember to use your index so you can shut it down for the chucking sound that you're going to do. And probably the most complicated part of this is that A minor. If you can develop, just super hard to do a chucking sound with this A minor, leave it alone unless you can palm mute it to stop it. If you've practiced palm muting, it's where you mute and chuck at the same time. That's how I would play it if I'm going to mute it. I wouldn't even try to mute it with my chording hand. So you would get the C, like that. When I have to play the F, not a problem. Your G is here. Or again, that first finger. All right? But that A minor, I would probably palm mute it. I'm palming it and brushing through at the same time. Or you could just let it go. All right? So let's do a little playthrough here. I know that's a lot of information. Go back through, mark the timing on it, and we're going to play this here. So we're going to take it from the top, do the intro, we're going to do a verse, and then we're going to go into the chorus, and then we'll stop from there. Okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, G, F, and here we go. If you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be. You know that there are. And if you want to live high, live high. And if you want to live low, live low. 'Cause there's a million ways to go. You know that there are. Bum, 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 bum. You can do what you want. The opportunity's on. And if you find a new way, I'll use my index finger here. You can do it today. You can make it all true. And you can make it undo. You see. And then we go on from there, all right? So take it slow, take it easy. A minor is going to be the trickiest one to figure out how you want to do it. The G can be muted, index finger for the G, and you can actually do the chucking. And that's relatively easy to play. That's not a difficult thing to do. If you can play it in a movable shape, that works as well. But there are certain places like where the D minor and the A minor and the G, that G sounds nice in the open position. So you have some things you can kind of play around with and do it whatever works for you and however you feel that it sounds the best. All right? Enjoy.